Okay, now let's work on the results page. Understand? So the result page is going to be similar. It's quite similar to the detail view. So I'm going to get the category by the slug, by their slug name. I'm going to say slug. I'm going to say category should be equal to category dot objects dot get slug should be equal to the slug. And then we are going to get the category items. I'm going to say items should be equal to category items dot objects dot filter. And then we're going to simply say category should be equal to category. Understand? So okay, we've done this. Now the next thing to do, let's pass these two guys into the context. Category, and then the last one is, the other one is called items, and then items, right? Okay, perfect. So once we've done this, now let's go with the URL for this view. Okay, just come and call this and just copy paste it. I'm going to turn this to results. So I'll say results, okay, and then views.results. And over here also results. Okay, perfect. So once we've done this, now the next thing to do right now is go down to our views. Whenever we save, for example, whenever we vote for a specific item under a category, we want to simply redirect to the result page. We want to say return redirect. We want to simply say return down to check and write results, and the slug is going to be called, the slug is going to be simply category.slug. Okay, I said category, slug is going to be equal to category dot slug. Okay, that should work. Okay, now let's try voting again to the browser. We click on, remember we've not voted under backend framework as Clinton. We've only voted under programming languages and front-end framework. So let's go vote under the backend framework as Clinton. Understand? So if I click on Django, click on submit. You can see right now we've been brought down to this, what's it called, this is the result page, but right now we're still having some static content. So we're going to go down to the result template, and then we're going to do some touching there. So here are you, result. Okay, it's here. So this is going to simply be category.title, and this is going to be simply, this will be, so now I'm going to put this inside a for loop. I'll say for, okay, and I'll say for item in items rather, and I'll simply come over here, copy this guy, okay, I'll simply just paste here item.title. Okay, so that's it for now. We're not done. So the browser, refresh. Okay, I need to add some line breaks. This is too. Okay, it's better. It's better now. So right now, the next thing to do, we want to get the total number of votes in this category. Total number of votes, right? That's where we're going to come over here and say category.total votes, category dot total underscore votes. We've only had one vote here, and after we only have one vote in this category for now. So right now, next thing to do now, I want to get the individual votes for each of these items. So I'm going to go down to, or okay, how do we go about that? I want to get the individual votes for each of this item. Okay, yes. I want to get it in percentage also. I want to get it in percentage and also in the actual number. So over here, I'll just come down here and say, okay, so now I want to also do what? I want to also list out the individual votes of each item. Understand? The individual votes. Come over here. I'll just put in a space. Now let me just say item dot total votes, total underscore votes. That should work. The browser, let's see. Okay, we've only voted in Django. That's nice. And lastly, I want to also be able to like get the percentage votes of each item, the percentage votes. Understand? I want to make sure, and I want to also make sure that this what's it called? This is called a progress bar. This our progress bar is at their right standing. So this is what I'm talking about right now. Go down to your models. So we're going to do some calculations right here now. So maybe I'll copy the code and explain what's happening. Okay, let's write the votes. Let me just write the code to avoid. Let's write it. So I'll just say, so I'm going to use at property here, at property. Okay, I'll explain what's happening here. So over here, I'm going to get a function called percentage votes over underscore votes. I'm going to have the self parameter. So right now I want to get the category votes. I'm going to say self dot category dot total votes. I want to get also the total underscore votes. I want to also get the item votes. Item underscore votes should be equal to self dot item vote. So the self represents the individual item in a given category. You know, if you check closely, I am under the category item. This self is representing the individual category item. So right here I said self dot category. So right now I'm trying to get the category of the individual item. I'm trying to get the total votes of a given category of an individual item. That's what is happening on this category vote. So over here I'm trying to get the total votes for the individual items. Instead, I'm going to say self dot total votes or total underscore votes. Okay, I'll come down here and say, so first of all, I want to make sure. So right now I'm going to simply say votes in percentage. I just say percentage should be equal to, I'm going to say item votes divided by category votes times 100. So times 100 instead. So we are going to simply return vote in percentage. But mind you, there might be a time our category votes might be 0, and you can't divide by 0. If you try that, it's going to throw an error. So we're going to write an if. We're going to say if category votes equal to 0. We're going to simply set votes in percentage to 0. You understand? To 0. But else, if it is not, we are going to simply set votes in percentage to the actual calculation we just did. I hope you guys understand what I'm doing here. So this is all you. So now this is it now. Okay. So this is it. So now we use it now. So this function now serves as an attribute to this model because of this at property. We can simply say category item dot percentage votes. because of this, because of what we did here, as property has made this function serve as a new attribute to this model called category item. Understand? So I'll go down to my, so I will look in as to what is going on here. So I'm trying to get the percentage votes of each category item. Hope you get. So let's go down to our result.html. Okay. So right now I'm going to simply come over here. So you can see right now the width of this thing are all 25. They are all 25% from what we have here. So I'm going to simply set that to, I'm going to say item dot percentage underscore votes. Remember, this is our function. Percentage votes is a function we just defined here. Understand? So that's it. Now let's see if there's any difference. Oh, perfect. This is the actual length. Remember, we only have one user, we only have one vote in this category, and that one vote is coming from Django. So that's why Django is on full length and the others are all on 0. So I want to also change the value of this 30%. I want to make it dynamic. So come over here and take it here. We're going to also put this here. Copy this and paste here. Okay, refresh this. Okay, 100% now. So Django has 100% votes. That's perfect. So if I come back here, I can't vote in any of this category again. I can't. Okay, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to simply be able to, so over here on the detail page, I can only view results if I have voted. Understand? So I'm going to add, okay, let's do that right away. So I was saying before, if we check closely now, if I click on votes, I can't vote here because I've already voted already. So I want to add a button that says see results. So now that's going to be on the detail.html page. The detail.html. I'm going to simply copy this button from our form, bring it up here, paste it here, and I'm going to simply put see results over here. See results. See results, and I'll simply put in the okay, I'll simply wrap this inside. Sorry, I'm going to there's a better, I think there's a better one to use. Okay, I'm afraid, let me just use this. Let's Ctrl C, detail page, paste, see result. Let's, okay, the link, the URL is going to be simply, remember it's called URL results and I'm going to simply say, what was it called again, category.slug, category.slug. okay, to the browser, refresh, come over here. If I click on programming languages, click on see results. Okay, so I want to round up these two significant figures to two decimal places rather. So let's do that right away. So now it's the result.html. Okay, so over here, just put in this template tag, paste. Okay, that's it. Do the same thing here. Okay, to the browser, refresh. You can see now that you can see we've only had, also because we've only had 3 votes in this category, and JavaScript has a vote, Python has a vote, and Rust also has a vote. Okay, now so I'm going to create a new user. Let's create a new user that can vote. Let's create a new user. I'm going to say Jamie. Give me a password. Register. So you're going to get logged in at once. So you can pick, let's pick one of the languages. So Python, submit. Okay, Python now has 2 votes. You can see 50%. You get, so now perfect. I can't vote here again. If I try voting here, it's not going to work. Can you see the results? Okay, the same thing. Let's vote here. Let's pick React, submit. Okay, perfect. Okay, Jamie, let's vote here. Let's choose Ruby on Rails. Okay, everything is working fine. It's working fine. So the next thing to do now is also, so currently Jamie has voted, but Jamie needs to know, Jamie needs to know the item he voted for in each category. He needs to know the specific item he voted for. For example, Jamie does not. I can't remember what Jamie voted for now. I can't remember if he voted for Vue or React. I can't remember. So we need to add a small tab that shows where the logged in user voted. That shows which of the item the logged in user voted in. So we are going to implement that right now. Be able to know the item the logged in user voted for. So we are going to use template tags to do this. Instead, we're going to use Django template tags to do this. Because that's the best way to go about it. So let's work on that right now. So to the browser, to our VS Code, I'm going to create, instead of my vote app, I'm going to create a new folder called template tags. Template tags. And this folder, I'm going to create a new file called init__init__.py. Okay, once you've done this now, I'm also going to create a Python file. We're going to call it custom filters, custom_filters.py. Okay, perfect. So in our custom template.py, in a custom template.py, we're going to simply import, we're going to say from Django. I'm going to simply import templates. Import templates. Templates, where are you? Okay, it's not responding. I'm going to say from Django. What's happening to you? From Django, import templates instead. Okay, once you've done this now, we're going to simply come over here and say register should be equal to templates plus library templates.library. Okay, once you've done this now, at the bottom we'll say at register. So say at register dot filter, I'm going to say name should be equal to, okay, I'll just say as voted. This as voted represent the name of our function, so I'm going to create a function called as voted. Okay, and then I'm going to pass in 2 parameters. The first one is going to be the user, logged in user, and the other one is going to be the list of voters. It's going to be the list of voters, and I'm going to come over here and say return any. Now say for voter, don't worry, in voters, I'll explain what's going on for voter in voters. I'm going to just simply say I'll say user ID. Say user underscore ID should, if it's equal to voter dot ID. Sorry, I think user dot ID equals, so what's happening here is this now. So remember, we have a list of voters for each of the items. So I'm trying to check if the logged in user is part of those voters. That's what I'm trying to do over here. Understand? But right now, these are still parameters. These are parameters. So I'm going to use this function inside of this result.html template, and right there I'm going to pass in the actual values. Right now we are still working with parameters, So we are going to provide the actual values in this template. So let's go down there right now. So come over to the result.html, and at the top we are going to simply load custom filters.py. We're going to load this file into this template. Okay, so we're going to simply come over here and say load custom underscore filters. Remember, it needs to be the name of the file called custom filters in your template tags. So once we've done that now, okay, we're going to use an if statement now. We're going to use over here, we'll simply say if, okay, we'll say if request.user, they're going to say as our function was called, we call it as voted, and I'm going to put in this colon, and then I'll simply say item dot voters dot all. So I told you before that these two, where is it from again? Okay, so I'm going to open this on the right. So I said before that this user and voters are both parameters. So I'm trying to check if the logged in user is part of the voters. That's what I'm trying to check over here. You understand? If the logged in user is part of the voters. You understand? So the voters under a specific category item. You understand? We are working with the category item. We are trying to check if the logged in user is part of the voters under a specific category item. That's what we're doing here. So we have to look through the voters in the category item, and then we check if the user ID is also part of the voter, any of the voters ID. And so that these two are parameters, and these are this right now user, the actual value is the logged in user, and right now these voters, the actual value is the list of voters in a given category item. Hope you understand. So that was happening here now. So right now I'm trying to check if the user is in this, if the user is part of the voters in a specific category item. I'm going to output that something here. So for example, I'm going to say, for example, sorry, I added this vote over here. That's because if you check closely, we're meant to have React.js equal to 1 vote or 1 vote, not just 1. Understand? Let me just put that. Oh, must be one of the, my custom filter is not working at the moment. There's a problem somewhere. I'll check what the issue is. I'll check what the problem is currently. I said load custom filters. There's a little problem. Template tags init.py. What's happening here? Let me rename this custom underscore filter.py. So the page is back. I simply had to run my server again, and we are back on the page again. Okay, so right now, where will be? So let me just remove the comments, reload the page once more. Okay, we are still here now. So I was saying before, I had to add these votes to make this, to add these votes I added here. These votes you see here is simply to just like add to this to make this like one vote. But later I'm going to show you, we are going to make this much more dynamic. If it is a single vote, it's just going to say 1 vote. If it is 2 votes, it's going to say 2 votes in the plural. So let's continue with our template filter. So I was saying before, so I'm going to say if request.user has voted. So now I'll just copy this. I copied the all of this. Ctrl X. So the user has voted. So now if this is true, I'm going to simply add an extra, I'm going to add an extra indicator that tells us the user voted for this item. Understand? So this indicator here. So if the logged in user is part of the voters for a specific item, I also tell you that that user voted for that item. That's what we are trying to do over here. So I'm going to put on the else now. I'm going to say else. Just here. Say else, and we're going to paste this. Okay, perfect. So now to the browser, refresh. Okay, so right now this tells us that the logged in user voted for React. So let's try and vote under a different category. Let's choose backend framework. Oh, the user has voted here. So let's see the results. I don't know what the user voted for before, but let's see. Right now it tells us that the user voted for Ruby on Rails. That's true. So I'm going to create a new user. I'm going to log out this user now. Let's create a new user. I'm going to call this, I'm going to say let's say Jane. Okay, Jane. I'm going to call her Jane. I'm simply register. Once I register, I get logged in automatically. Oh, okay, let me just say Jeannie. I already have Jane. Let me just say Jenny. Login. Oh, the same problem. Okay. Okay, let's just say Janet rather. Okay, Janet. And click on register. There's a problem. The user without username already exists. That's not true. For the last time, let's try Leo. Register. Okay, so now votes. Okay, let's say Leo chose Python. Submit. Right now you can see Leo chose voted for Python. You can see voted. It tells you what Leo voted for. If I go back to the, I can't vote here again. I can only see the results. Okay, let's choose front-end framework. Let's pick Vue. Okay, Leo voted for Vue. You can see it's working. You can see Vue has 2 votes. And that's why it's longer. React has a single vote. And if you add them up, our total vote at 3 is 3. But right now, you can see everything is working. It's working. We are not done yet. We're almost done. Let's choose Django, or let's just choose Express. Submit. You can see now we have one vote each, and Leo voted for Express.js. You can see it shows here voted. Perfect. But one thing is this, now if you check closely, I want to show you how to work on this. This is saying 1 vote. It should be just 1 vote, not votes, not plural. It should be 1 vote, not votes. So I'm going to show you how to make this dynamic. If it is 1, it's going to say 1 vote, or if it is from 2 and above, it's going to say 2 votes. You understand? So let's work on that right now. Okay, so right now let's work on the feature I talked about. So let's work on this now. So if I go down to your settings.py file, here are you. Okay, under your installed apps, just add this Django .contrib .humanize. Yeah, that's it. I've also done that now to your what's it called, to the result.html. So this template now we are going to simply load. I'm going to say load humanize. Okay, perfect. So once we've done this, over here for these votes now, this vote we see here, these votes. We are going to simply we are going to remove the X there, and then we are going to simply say pluralize, and then before you say pluralize, sorry, you're meant to put in the item or total votes first. Remember, this is actually, what did I do there? I'm going to copy, let's just copy this item the total votes. So remember, this is actually a number. This item or total votes represents this 1, 2, remember. So we are meant to now have the actual value. If it is 1, that means it's singular. Understand? So this item or total votes is actually a number. It could be 1, 2, or anything you get. So we're going to then pluralize. Now we're going to put in this. So pluralize then. Okay, so we're going to have two values here, separated by comma. So the first value is going to be the value if it is singular. Understand? So pluralize. So the first value is going to be the value if it is singular. The second value is going to be the value if it is plural. So we're going to work on the plural, because votes is going to be votes if it is singular, but votes, it becomes votes if it is plural. It's going to have an extra X if it is plural. You understand? So for example, here it's going to be empty. If it is singular, we are going to have an X if it is plural. You understand? So that's what we are trying to achieve now to the browser. Okay, so before we move on to the browser, we need to add the same thing down on this other part. You understand? This is for the, this is an if statement. It holds this particular code section is to decide if to show you the item the user voted for. You understand? So that's what it's for. So this other part here is for the item the user did not vote for. You get? So you need to also copy this part of this, copy this, and also bring it down here. Paste it here also. What did I do? Sorry, let's copy this again. Ctrl-C. We paste here. Okay, yes, so to the browser now, let's refresh the page. Okay, perfect. Now you can see it says 1 vote, 1 vote, 1 vote. If I pick a different category, let's see the results. Because it says 1 vote, 3 votes, because it's plural, and 1 vote to get. So as for 0 and 0, it still shows votes. That is how Django does it. But for as far as from 1 upward, it says 1 vote, 3 votes. So we're almost done. Let's just do some rounding up. So for the description of each category, you need to put in the actual description. This is just from the templates. So let's put in some actual description. So to our index.html, where are you? So just here, we just simply say, what's it called again? Sorry, not there. That's not the place. It's here. We say category. Dot description. Instead, so let's see what it looks like. You can see our description is quite too long, so I'm going to simply truncate it to like 100 characters. So you're going to use a template tag. I'm going to say truncate characters, truncates, and then I'll set it to 100. Okay, let's see. Perfect. You can see these are 100 characters right now. Okay, I think we are good. Okay, I think that's all for the chat for the voting application with Django. So we're able to build a real-time vote application using Django. Okay, so if you did enjoy the video, do want to subscribe to the channel, subscribe, like the video. Understand? So we're going to see in the next video. So stay blessed and bye bye.